Guys, hey, I talked to you this morning. If you caught Brown Bag Bets, I said we'd have bonus shows, extra shows, news shows, college football show definitely coming next Saturday morning, but also a market show with a very important guest. I went and snatched someone from the other side of the counter, from the enemy, I went through no man's land, behind enemy lines like Owen Wilson, and went and got someone to come talk with us every week, kind of explain some of the markets, explain some of the market moves, get the inside scoop. I guess this is it's like insider trading, honestly, at this point. That's awesome. So we're gonna get Mo coming in every week. He is the senior trader at WynnBet out there in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. I feel like I sometimes don't say the name of that state right, but I feel like I nailed it there. And he's going to join us every week. This week is kind of just a cold open. We don't have a lot of football. There's some preseason football I don't give a shit about. There's 4 college games we're going to touch a little on for fun, but definitely want to hear from anybody who likes to watch this sort of stuff on games that you'd like to hear about. Hit me up, because we're going to do this on Fridays. You have all week to sit and figure out which games we should be japping about on Friday afternoons here. And without further ado, Motoi Pearson, like I said, WynnBet senior trader. What do you do there? What's
going on, man? Well, first off, I appreciate you having me. I think that's awesome. You called me important. I wouldn't probably go so far to say something like that. I appreciate WynnBet having me doing this. This is a great honor. And what I do, I try not to lose the company money, I think would probably be the best way to state that. In sports, at least, I guess, would be the best deal. Yeah.
And, if you were the important guys, they wouldn't let you take half hour away from the computer screen to come into the conference room and record with me either. So
that's
the important guys they're still monitoring the screen. So that's what's going on over there. Motoi is in here talking to me. But yes, again, every week we'll do this on Friday. We'll get into, obviously, next week, heavy slate of college football. The week after that is the NFL opener. I'll actually be in Las Vegas. There's a decent chance I'm going to try to figure out somehow to one time ever to get me and Mo sitting next to each other, maybe on one camera, real close, like a real in-studio experience, because I'll be out there. And
like
we'll definitely
family.
talk about, but yeah, just like familia. Or,
what's 100%.
What's Ohana?
Yeah.
And definitely going to talk about some college football that week too, because there's a fat slate that week as well. And then going forward, hopefully even some college basketball, NBA, whatever it takes to talk about the most interesting markets from that week. And like I said, this week we're just going to dive in again. Before we get into any of these 4 games, do reach out if you have any ideas. Again, for a name, this is a working title. If you have a better name, I'm crowdsourcing this. I just wanted to get one of these out and talk to the people and make sure people know about this before we get into the actual football that starts in a couple weeks. Name ideas, games you want to talk about next week. Andy MSFW on Twitter. My DMs are open. I will always accept them. Don't bother Mo. He's too busy doing stuff the other 39 and a half hours a week when he's not doing this.
That's exactly right. Yeah. A bunch of nothing after the 40 hours. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is pretty late there on a Friday. Actually, it's earlier.
It's definitely earlier. Yeah, it might be early for me, I would think, but it's been good. I've been up all day, man, grinding, man. It's football season's coming up.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for college basketball, but like you said, football season, and 4 games that. I got to go visit my brother. He just had a new kid, so I got to go check that out.
Congratulations!
Hopefully, awesome. I didn't do anything.
Oh well,
mostly him. But
you're the middleman for the congrats.
Yeah, I'll throw it his way. Mo says congrats on the new one, but yeah. So I don't know how much college football I get to watch or any of these night games. Oh yes, the UTEP one I actually have a bet on, so I'll get to watch that. But yeah, starting at noon, Big Ten football, it's just like a real Saturday right off the bat. Big Ten, horrible Big Ten football.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah, if you want to talk about how, and that's the question here. So like normally, and there are game of the year markets up for a lot of college football games, bigger ones, but like normally the openers for next week are going to come out at a certain time. But what about this week that's been, just sitting out there as kind of a island games? Like, have these been up for like weeks and weeks and weeks then?
Yeah.
I don't pay enough attention to college.
As far as the week 0 games, I think, college football in general has become more popular, and I think the numbers are becoming more sharper. So it's easier for bookmakers to put out a line, especially week 0 lines for people to take a look at, take a couple swings at, and we're looking for people's opinions just as much as us putting the lines out early, especially for week 0 games like this one.
Yeah, every time you guys bet, you're just helping them. By the way, remember that. You're just sharpening up the number. But yeah, you had there's a different market on this we want to talk about, but I don't know. Have you had much action on the side or total on this one at all?
Yeah, no, we opened 9, I think down to 7. There hasn't been much. It's been on more Nebraska at 7, but the market I've been seeing, it's kind of been jumping around from 6.5, 6.5, 20 on the favorite. Right now I think we're actually sitting at 7 dog 15, so we're at 7 minus 15 on Illinois. So it's just kind of jumping between 7, 6.5. More or less Nebraska money, a little bit under money, but nothing too crazy.
Sure. But for those degenerates who love Monday Night Football and God, I have like 3 buddies that I talk to in the regular that are actually kind of good at this. The first touchdown scorer markets. Is this the game that has it?
Yeah, this is absolutely the game that has it. Yeah, no.
Do you know any? Do you know any of the players? I gotta find this on my app.
Anything that I wanted, because I think Nebraska has like a whole new team as far as offense is concerned. The only one that I know people are probably excited, sarcastically speaking, is Adrian Martinez, who's the favorite of the bunch. I think we did 9 players from Nebraska, 9 players from Illinois, a field, and then no TD scored. So Adrian Martinez is at 5-1. I think we got a bet on Brandon Peters at 30-1, the quarterback for Illinois. But I mean, the names. I mean, it'll be funny to see people, checking out the names and seeing the lines of players that can actually score in this Big Ten game.
Yeah, I might just call my guy over in Colorado and see if I can get a few bucks down on the field. That feels like a decent bet in this one. Even if you took, I'm sure Lindy went behind and figured out all the players that are actually going to play in this game, and
he's
got them all covered.
Created this list. Yeah, he loves this list so much. As soon as he brings up the first touchdown scored for any game, I already know he's like been working on it, or he's already like hammering away at the players that are going to be in the game.
Yeah, because some places you'll see, and I'm just going to do this repeatedly and just mention competition. I won't mention them by name, but I have seen that, like, who's the first, who's the team that's going to score the first touchdown in like the 9 a.m. window or whatever window, and they have some of that. So it's kind of fun like that because, I mean, you can definitely do some research, look at some offenses that are quick out the gate or run fast plays or are good. It's still kind of a crapshoot. This one's a little tricky. It's almost like somebody who's played some college DFS would be good at this, but I will. Yeah, I'm in on the field. I'm taking it. You kind of had a fun bet. This one's getting out of hand. Is Fresno State even good? Are the Carr brothers still there? Is there another one?
This out on a different a different podcast. Fresno State, Kalen DeBoer is running the team now. Like a great offensive mind, and Jake Haener at quarterback. I think he was a transfer from Washington. Should be awesome going forward in the Mountain West. So I think they're a sleeper of mine going forward. 27 points is a lot. UConn's got to travel. They changed the time of the game. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Right now, it's funny. We actually have seen a little bit under money, but we haven't really seen much on the side at all. Game open 27. It's like hanging 27.5 now. But I just know I'm, well entitled on Fresno State, hopefully doing well this year.
Well, and I wonder too about some of these, and I'm sure it's the case every week, but I wonder if you get a slop load of rec money on like Saturday morning when people wake up and realize like, oh, there's football on, I can bet on it. Because I haven't even checked if they're, I'm sure there is some NFL on Saturday too. It looks like the NFL. Oh, and that's what the NFL just dicked college football there. There's like 7 Saturday games. That's gonna hurt the hold on this college slate. Plus the fact that it's UConn versus Fresno. But what was you were explaining a bet you guys put together too on the Fresno State? No, excuse me, on UConn. UConn and their pals. Do you have a name for this, or just like? I feel like you should have a name.
No, we didn't have a legitimate name for it. We should have. I remember, Lindy sending me the teams of the prop with UConn in it, And I remember immediately laughing, and I had to send it out. It was like something for the streets, like the masses needed to see it, but
people need to hear it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And this will be the first game of that prop we put out. That was UNLV, Akron, Umass combined wins minus 30 against UConn, who plays against Fresno State, with Kansas and ULM plus 110. So a lot of people that got to see that got to weigh in on it, get to see this game and see how they feel about UConn going forward.
Yeah, I didn't do the math. You did it for me, but it's basically like 6 of the worst teams generally.
100%. Yeah,
these 6 were
absolute,
it's just a mess. The
tragedy of a prop.
The zips.
In tragedy, you find beauty, and in this, everyone loved it, so we were happy about that.
No, I like this one, especially all you have to do is like one of these teams a little too much, and you can bet a side.
Yeah, well,
maybe it's Akron for me.
Yeah, there was just so many people that looked at the dog, considering how can anyone be favored in a prop like this to begin with. So it was definitely funny to hear the opinions of people that said oh, I really like UConn, and then we were like, well, you said you like UConn, that's pretty ridiculous in itself. So we're definitely looking at the future to see how that turns out.
No, you got other ones like this though too?
Oh man, the only one that I can remember, I think that I thought was going to be the more popular one was we wanted to do an SEC battle, an all SEC battle, but we were going to make a play on it, and we did LSU Oklahoma versus Alabama Texas in combined wins.
I feel like that it's from that DM I sent you. I feel like you stole that from me.
You didn't send me anything. What?
I sent you no, I sent you DMs. I wanted DMs of Texas and Oklahoma, what they'd be lined against.
Oh yeah, that's right. No,
or what the future prices would be if they were in the SEC this year.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you stole that from me.
You implanted. You're basically working behind the desk, essentially, the counter.
That's kind of what happened. Yeah, that's a rough scene. Honestly, we're gonna talk about this off the air because that's a rough scene stealing shit from me. But yeah, that's a fun prop. And look, there's some more of those. You guys have some of that for
coming up this
combined player props.
Any of the teams that are involved going forward, we'll bring those up frequently.
Yeah, if you guys like doing math, those are fun too, especially if you're building out distributions for some of these players for fantasy already, or season-long fantasy best ball and stuff. Some of these combined player prop ones are pretty fun. Hawaii versus we have Power 5 teams playing on a Friday in week 0 here, or Saturday, excuse me. UCLA is Friday day. Hawaii at UCLA, getting a whole bunch of points coming from. They're probably already here. Well, obviously, the game's tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've been here. They've probably been here for a week, just getting used to California. You don't worry about the travel as much when it's week 0.
Sure.
There's no preseason. I can't. You'd have to be a lunatic to lay these points, right?
I'm personally, I like UCLA. I've heard so many people go on about Hawaii and them having a bunch of returning starters and Cordero's coming back, but I don't know. I think I was just kind of high on UCLA, and I thought the number should have been higher personally. Right now it's been bouncing around between 17.5 and 18. This is actually the most popular bet we're getting on parlays on UCLA, the UCLA side. Everyone's been laying 17.5. Just today, though, we actually seen some under money coming in from some respected guys, sources, and the market's moving from 69, I think, to 67.5.
Yeah, that's what I have up right now.
We're hanging there right now.
Yeah, I pulled numbers from WynnBet, whatever state's app I have on my phone. There's a few different depending on the state, the options are gonna be a little different on some of the player prop stuff, but the games will be up. So I pulled all these lines. I had 17.5 and 67.5. Where did that side open?
We opened it. I think I got it here. It opened 9, UCLA 9. So, like I said, this thing opens up 4 weeks into the, I don't think we had sides up at the time. But I think another spot opened up 9. Some people seen it and they just got bet all the way up, just about 10 points, basically. I don't know. I feel like I said, I think it should be higher than 17.5, but it opening 9 is a tragedy.
So where do you gotta walk? Or you gotta walk somewhere to? Oh, you have apps out there. I was gonna say they can't let. They're not gonna let you bet at your own shop.
Correct.
Like you gotta. I was gonna say where you gotta walk down the street.
Usually,
you got all the apps. Yeah, you can just take the competitors' money.
100%. Yeah, beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Usually
it is. Yeah, it's like double dipping. You guys hang a sharp line, and then you go take someone else's. Oh, you get a stale line over there, buddy. It's all mine.
That's it.
All right, the last one. We will talk about one more game before we cut loose for the weekend because it is a Friday afternoon. I wouldn't mind going and getting something in me to drink. Is one that's been kind of got steamed a couple ways on the total. Anyone who follows the gambling Twitter world or the gambling Slack channels worlds of life have seen this one definitely get hit for certain reasons all over the market. But this total, what was the opener on the total got bet down?
We opened 60 out the gate. So, yeah, I think that was like the first thing that we seen go before the side went. And I think it opened 10 originally before it went down and kind of got bet back up by a couple groups. But yeah, we've seen some respected money coming in on 60. Moved it pretty aggressively down a couple times. We essentially got past the key number 55, and as soon as 54.5 came up, people just started firing on 54.5. Kind of got bet back up to 55, 55.5, 56, and now we're hanging around at 59. So, there's some type of middle opportunity, or we could get possibly middled in the deal, but it's just the business. It's funny that it happened out of all the games. UTEP and New Mexico State got the most action out of all these other big name games. So, for anybody that's listening, it's funny to see something like that.
Yeah, that's funny. I should have. That's just me being a bad interviewer and host. I should ask, because we have this Saturday game. Like,
I thought you were
which you answered. You answered the good question. Yeah, you answered the good question without me even asking. Is like, which one of these took the most money? And crazy that it's just a horrible game. The Miners and the Aggies.
It reminds me that college football's back. I'm like, this is the game that should be the most wild. I don't even care about Nebraska at some point. Like, when we watch UTEP New Mexico State, we'll be pinned in on it for our jobs. So,
We got, so I said, we got 7 NFL games too. I don't want to talk about those at all. I'm so, it's not like I didn't.
The only thing I can tell you on those games is that the players are playing for their livelihoods. The ones that are there now, anything else I can't really, weigh in on as far as the players that are playing in it or even really the teams. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's right. I wasn't really going to get into any of those games. I was just curious on the handle compared to like your highest handled preseason NFL game compared to like UTEP.
Oh,
are you still taking a lot of money on it, even though it's week 3 preseason?
Our limits are pretty low for the preseason NFL. I think that you can get a dime on the spread. Most of the action that we're getting on the preseason stuff is like sharper action, just beating the number. Just trying to beat us to whatever number they can. So, yeah, I mean, it's from that thought of it as far as the money we're taking. We do take, a decent amount on preseason. So it matches what we have on UTEP, some of the games.
Yeah, I feel like the Steelers tonight, Friday night, opened as a favorite, and they're getting 3.5 right now.
Beautiful.
So some of these, so you see some of these preseason markets that are just like, hey, guess what? The people that originated this, and then everybody who copied them, they don't know what's going on with the offenses this weekend.
No, yeah.
You see this, and that's why limits stay low, because like the informational edge, like you're never gonna have that during a regular season. Like, you're not gonna get to the Packers Rams game and be like, hey, guess what? Rodgers is out, and I mean for that kind of move, it's like, hey, Rodgers is out. And he got traded to the Rams, and he's starting for the Rams. Like that's the implication of some of these moves. It's like, hey, the starter's starting, and we thought the backup was going, and the backup's going for the other team. Like some of this shit is so wild. The preseason.
Yeah, no, it's
fun though.
In that, now you're throwing in, the COVID issue of it. So it's like if anyone hears that on any team, they're getting annihilated on the market. Like you hear about COVID on a team, just go to like Don Best and watch that market fly. Like it's pretty insane.
Oh, man. I didn't even think that's going to come up one of these Fridays, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
I was like, 0 for 8 on COVID games not getting canceled when I'd get an early number.
Sure.
Like whenever you'd get a DM from somebody that's like, hey, I go here. It's like, I think we had a tip from someone that Mond was out for the Tennessee game, and then everybody got it, and they canceled the game. And then we had what was the replacement? BYU Liberty. What did that replace? Was that Coastal Carolina?
Yeah, BYU Coastal Carolina. Yeah. It
replaced the Liberty game because the Liberty, we had some information on that Liberty COVID outbreak or injury or whatever it was, and we got just a crazy early number. And then, of course, that game gets canceled too.
100%.
All that CLB. I had so much CLB last year that didn't play.
You would crush like COVID games like early in the year, and some of them may play or whatever, and then you would just know like week 5, week 6, you'd bet it, and then just know it's going to get canceled. You're just waiting for it to get refunded back into your account. You're like, no, I'm just betting it for the fun of it, not to win or lose because it's going to get refunded.
Just in case. Yeah. Okay, 1 in 10 chance this game gets played, and I get a good number. And
exactly.
Honestly, it's still like a coin flip. Although you're usually getting like 4 or 5 points of value. It was not some of the moves you get. And hopefully, eventually, when we get to college basketball too, which I know is a big love of yours, we get some pretty normal stuff. Man, we were like, how do you price a team that hasn't played in 40 days? Like, what are we doing here? Like Iona took multiple 1 month plus breaks, I think, and then you have to price them in a division or a conference game when they get back. Like, man, Quinnipiac, what do we got here? Just throw a number out there.
I think we were just okay with Patino being at Iona, and we were like, I don't think it's going to affect him if Patino's still alive. So I think that's kind of how we handicapped Patino. But yeah, man, the rest of the MAC, the Metro Atlantic, was insane. All of it.
That's where you let Bet Online put their little numbers out right at the beginning and just let them sort that out.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Some of those offshore real soft openers, like you'll see that, and then you'll see some of the openers with some limits. Like, well, that wasn't even close. Like I mean, honestly, good on them for trying some of those things. And that's why limits are so low at the beginning on basketball. But we're going way off course. We don't have basketball for like 2 months, guys. I'm just getting excited.
I know. Yeah.
Metro Athletic.
We're talking about markets, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I like that we went to the Metro Atlantic. It's like one of my favorite conferences.
Oh, I have a pair of Niagara shorts.
I have a St. Peter's T-shirt. It's just like a big peacock on the shirt. Oh, yeah. It was just a big under team. You couldn't stop betting under, so I was like, I gotta appreciate them by buying a T-shirt. Awesome.
Yeah, once if a team pays you enough, I would encourage that. This isn't actual market advice. It's more maybe my only superstition is like when a team pays you good enough, you need to buy some of their gear.
Yeah,
like I was. They took a sharp turn against me. Eventually, I was pretty close. I had it in my cart. It was an Incarnate Word T-shirt.
Yeah,
it just said Incarnate Word Dad. Like I had kids in there. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Yeah. It's like a rite of passage to buy it. You get to that point where you're like, I've seen the light of this team. I'm going to buy a shirt no matter what. Like, people were asking.
Yeah, I didn't go to Cal.
Yeah, right. 100%. Heard you're a big Aaron Rodgers guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's back. Honestly, I do have some Packers futures, so we're going to go there. We'll get there eventually. So, well, that's all the football we got for this week. Again, going forward, I know this was pre-recorded. I'm sorry for you guys who love to. I'm assuming you're working from home because honestly, you guys are awesome. Just slanging it in the chat every day and some of the shows. If you guys going forward, we will be live because we'd love some fan interactions, questions, anybody talking about some numbers they got or games they want to hear about. And definitely during the week, next week, starting immediately, any games you want to hear about. Once the markets start to move, we will obviously, we're not going to sit and talk about 60 college games next Friday. We're going to have to pick and choose a few of the most interesting ones. We'll pick some on our end, but we'll probably have you guys involved in the process a lot. So do reach out. Hopefully this is cool. If you have any ideas again for the name or anything you want to hear on here, let us know and we'll check you next week. Say bye, Mo.
Oh, I apologize. See you. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was awesome.